our final open micer of the evening. Thank you so much, everybody, to all of our open micers. Our last one is going to turn you to stone with her magical work. Please welcome Medusa, aka Heather Lefebvre.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I just, like everybody else, I just want to thank Anar and Chandra real quick. Ice Cream Social was one of the first things that made me feel like at home in Austin, like there was a community here and I could be part of it, maybe. And that means a lot to me and to everybody, and so thank you. All right, so having said that, I work sometimes for a rival bookstore. A sister bookstore. And I was at the Crafter Market by Boss Babes on Sunday working for Bookwoman. And what I was doing was I had a little typewriter that I had borrowed and I was writing flash fiction for people. So they would come and they'd write down their name and like the genre of story they wanted and then like an added element. And I took a picture of each one, so I thought I'd read a couple of those. So these are a couple of the horror stories that people requested. So this one is a horror story that with love in it. That's what you want. He told Renee that the only way to stay together would be if she joined him in the woods, in his dead uncle's cabin. On the one hand, Renee had seen too many slashers in her day to trust such a rickety environment. On the other hand, she did love him. He was brilliant and beautiful and kind, and he only turned into a bloodthirsty beast monster like once a month. He was only living in the cabin, she reasoned, to avoid snacking on their neighbors in the building anyway. She moved in on a Tuesday night when the fog obscured... Sorry, the typewriter's a little hard to read. When the fog obscured the bases of trees and clouds hid the moon, thank God. In the basement, they moved aside ancient crates of Madame Alexander dolls with broken eyes to make room for her craft area. I want you to feel at home here, he said, his voice a quiet growl. His eyes glinted ochre in the dim half-light. The depths of love hit Renee like a claw, like a sharp pull in the stomach. I love you, she said, and kissed him. His moan came as an animal cry in the throat. And so this next one is a horror story with cats in it, which is my personal favorite. Okay. Hang on. All right. I swear to God, Sarah said, I will pay you $20 if there is not a cat in this house. Kamna rolled her eyes. Everyone knew that cats were just a story you told at campfires because you were bored. What a terrifying world it would be if those slavering, passive-aggressive beasts were to surface above the ground. You're just saying that because it's Halloween, Kamna told her. A guttural hiss, like an angry beehive tossed in a blender, sounded across the living room. I'm telling you, Sarah said again. The noise grew louder, despite the lemon candle Sarah had lit to ward off any wayward cats. It seemed to be coming from behind the sofa. What do you propose? Kamna said. Scratches appeared, horrifyingly deep and sudden, up and down the arms of the leather. Kamna knew, of course, what they needed to do. That was legend. You're telling me, she said, that I have to actually go to the store and buy catnip like a witch? And canned tuna. I read that's important. Come on. It was then that the lights went out. And Kamna would never admit it, but the glowing green eyes by the darkened floorboards would haunt her for the remainder of her days. Thank you.